Welcome to TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. For many people, it's hard to get downtown to take care of legal matters. That's why Clerk of Courts Earl B. Turner created the In the Neighborhood program. The program gives people a chance to rectify missed court appearances or delinquent fines without the fear of being arrested or put in jail.
Because you have a lot of people that are intimidated. They don't want to come to the Justice Center because they're intimidated. I mean, I don't know how else to say that.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we're able to come to their neighborhood and come to them and service them on their grounds makes it that much better.
People with unresolved misdemeanors, back fines, and traffic violation issues had a chance to meet with public defenders and the staffs from juvenile court and child support to help figure out a better way forward. Payment plans could also be set up if needed, and court dates could also be scheduled at numerous suburban courts that may be closer. The Clerk of Court's office will be having more in the neighborhood events now until October 12th. Clerk of Court's Public Information Officer, O.B. Shelton, says it's very easy to get the schedule.
You can find out our schedule through cmcoh.org, which is the court website. I've also found that people, if they search in the neighborhood Cleveland, if you just Google that, you're going to see the Cleveland Clerk of Court's in the neighborhood schedule come up, and also some information on all the suburbs that we have agreements with. So as it's grown, people more and more are finding us on the web just through a Google search.
The City of Cleveland kicked off their partnership with the U.S. Census Bureau for the 2020 census. In his remarks, Mayor Frank Jackson spoke about the challenges census workers will face collecting information.
But there is a little different climate, I believe, in America today where people are less ready to give information. And that means that we're going to have to really beat the bushes and develop relationships out there to encourage people to get past whatever concerns or fears that they may have. And we are really relying on you to help us in that regard.
If you're not familiar with the census, which occurs nationally every 10 years, Stephen Shope of the U.S. Census Bureau explains why getting an accurate count is so important and beneficial to the city.
It does determine how Congress is represented for your state. So, I mean, it'll determine for 10 years the number of representatives you get. It also determines how funding is distributed from the federal government to the states. So at the local level, I mean, it's basic benefits and programs, it's SNAP benefits, it's Head Start. I mean, if you have kids, it definitely benefits your community to have a complete count, because the more people that are counted equates to more dollars.
Expressing Shope's sentiments is City Council President Kevin Kelly, who says $21 billion in funding could be up for grabs.
There are 21 billion reasons why we have to get as accurate a count as we can, that we need to, really work in our communities, reach out to people, go door to door, make sure that people fill out this form and return it. Because at the end of the day, we may think we're undercounted, we may think it's not fair, but from the federal government's perspective, the census is the census. And that's the information that they use.
The best part of the census is the opening of new jobs, of which Shope says there are plenty.
2020census.gov/jobs. You can spend 10 minutes filling out an application. It's very simple. You'll get emails, you'll get phone calls with job offers. If it's one that fits you and you like it, take it. If you don't, you can decline it, and you'll keep getting offers for as long as you want to get offers until something works for you. But flexible schedules, good pay. We have people of all walks of life that come out and take those jobs, from people starting in their career to PhDs that are looking to moonlight because they like the civic duty of the census.
Visit census.gov for more information on the census and available jobs. The iconic Song of Wales mural on the Cleveland Public Power building was created by the artist Weiland in 1997. He was recently back in Cleveland at the Davis Aerospace and Maritime School to kick off the 8th annual Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation, and to make a big announcement that he'll be back in June to repaint and restore the mural to celebrate Cuyahoga 50. Weiland tells us why he chose Cleveland to kick off the challenge.
Well, I couldn't think of a better city, and the fact that Cuyahoga is celebrating 50 years since the fire, that event, the Cuyahoga River catching on fire instilled in me a passion for, hey, I need to use my art to bring to conservation. I was only like 13 or 14 when it happened, but I grew up in Detroit, far away from the ocean, but I was born at a certain moment where everything was happening. The Cuyahoga River fire, the oil spill off of Santa Barbara, that inspired the first Earth Day, the EPA. So I was a kid, a young artist taking all that in. And it really instilled in me a passion for nature that, hey, we need to protect these beautiful places. And I'm a water sign too. So water has been the connector of everything in my art and life from the beginning.
Prior to the press conference, Weiland painted a mural with some of the students, something both he and the kids will cherish for a long time. Mayor Frank Jackson attended the event and tells us the importance of the mural for both our city and him personally.
Well, I remember I was in council when Mayor White was done doing his term. And I know there was a lot of discussion about having whales on the wall. I thought it was a great canvas. You can see it from driving up and down the shoreway, and it did talk to then, as it talks to now, about the necessity of clean water and how we as humans and what we do impacts the environment that actually comes back to impact our health. And so it's better that we do it right to ensure that we have good health.
We asked Chief of the Office of Sustainability, Matt Gray, and Sustainable Cleveland Coordinator, Kathy Lean, what the mural means to them as Cleveland residents.
I mean, I grew up always wondering, why are there whales on this wall in Cleveland? We don't have whales. We have perch. So, but then as you learn more about it and what Weiland was doing, really the idea is that these global issues, these ocean-specific issues really connect to all of us. And I think the idea is he painted 100 of these walls around the world. For Cleveland to be a part of that is really special.
In the past year, we've heard a lot of reports about whales ingesting plastic along with many of our other animals. So if we want to protect our animals like the whales and we want them to continue singing, we need to help stop plastic pollution.
Weiland spoke further with us about his history as an artist and coming back to Cleveland.
What was a defining moment for you that was like, I need to do a mural on a building to help promote clean water?
Good question. Well, I started painting great whales on canvas after I saw the ocean for the first time. I was 14, and we did a little road trip with my mom and my 3 brothers out to Southern California to visit her sister. And I saw that Pacific Ocean, and I had been dreaming about it my whole life. For me, the Great Lakes, Lake Michigan, was my ocean. But now I'm seeing it for the first time, and I dove under a wave, and I remember coming up, and 2 great whales spouted right in front of me, and then they fluked up, changed my life. So the whale became the focal point of my art. But I was frustrated because I wanted to paint these great whales life-size to really justify them. So I started looking for the sides of buildings. Those were going to be my canvases. And I remember painting the first one in 1981 in Laguna Beach. And a reporter like yourself said, hey, Weiland, how many of these, giant murals are you going to paint of whales? And I said, 100. I should have said 10. I would have been done. But thank God I said 100 because I had a chance to do a Midwest tour of murals. And I did Cleveland was my 75th one. And I love that mural. I saw it yesterday. It definitely needs a pressure wash, a little touch up, and then a clear coat to protect it so that it can be enjoyed for many more years. And it's going to be an honor to come back and celebrate the Cuyahoga River 50-year celebration because it should be celebrated. They took the most negative thing, not one ounce of life in that river, and now it's beautiful. And to be here with all these conservation groups and all these kids and hear this amazing stories of the fish life and all the beauty that this river brings to the city of Cleveland, I want to support that.
For more information, visit weilandfoundation.com. The city of Cleveland recently threw a big celebration honoring women in military. The celebration was held in the rotunda of Cleveland City Hall. Master of Ceremonies Michael Shockley gave a brief history of women in the military.
The history of women in the military can probably go back as early as, I'm going to say 1945. There was a Director of Women's Reserve, Captain Mildred H. McAfee. Then a lot of the black women wanted to also join the Navy, but they were told that they couldn't. By then, Secretary of Navy Morris J. McGregor, the Secretary of Navy said, "Not over my dead body." But regretfully, he died soon after that. So I'm not sure who opened that door for them, but after that, the women started joining different ranks, the Navy, Army, Marines, and the Coast Guard.
The keynote speaker and one of the honorees was Janie Mines, the first African-American woman to graduate from the U.S. Naval Academy. With her experience, Mines has a message for those women thinking about a career in the military.
It's a wonderful opportunity for those women for whom it is the right thing for them. If they want to serve their country in a challenging environment that gives them an opportunity to grow as an individual, to lead at a scale that they've never had an opportunity probably before, that it is an outstanding opportunity for them to do that.
U.S. Coast Guard Petty Officer Elia Monroe was also honored for her service at this year's event.
First, when I reported to boot camp, like I said, I had a big afro and I wasn't sure how I was going to tame that for boot camp, but I cut it all off before going and I completed my tasking there, and though I thought I wasn't going to make it out in the moment, I did, and I'm here now today serving in Cleveland, so it's been great.
Monroe also has a message for ladies thinking about joining the Coast Guard.
Trust your own instincts, do your research, and speak and ask questions. You know, talk to your recruiter, talk to friends that you may have in the military, gain those friends. Just really put yourself out there to learn what it is that you may want to do.
The City of Cleveland's Women's History Month Committee recognized 15 female employees at their annual awards ceremony.
I really appreciate being honored today, but my biggest reward is working with the families and the youth. If I'm putting a smile on a family's face or providing a service or linking them with services that they need, that is my biggest reward. Thank you so much.
The theme for this year's luncheon was Women Becoming Cleveland's Next Generation Leaders and was inspired by former First Lady Michelle Obama's best-selling book. Stay tuned to see the luncheon in its entirety only here on TV20. Check our schedule for times. And we'll be right back with more TV20 News.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Welcome back to TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. Men from the Cleveland area had a chance to go to the Cleveland Clinic to learn more about their health at the 2019 Minority Men's Health Fair. We sent TV20 News special correspondent Errol Porter to learn more.
Hello Cleveland, my name is Errol Porter reporting for the City of Cleveland TV20. We are at today's great event. We're at Cleveland Clinic at the Glickman Center, and behind me the Minority Men's Health Fair is going on. There are thousands of minority men here getting checked out for free today, and everyone's being encouraged to come on down. And we got to go behind the scenes to talk to Dr. Charles Motlin about how this thing has grown over the years. Okay, I'm here with the man behind the vision, Dr. Charles Motlin. for many years. This has been going on. Once again, a great turnout. I was excited when I walked through the door. Kind of hit me in the face, like, look at all these people, look at all these black men and minority men coming in here concerned about their health.
Yeah, I'm really proud that the men actually were empowered and took the initiative to come in, took the responsibility really to take advantage of what we're offering. We're offering free health screenings, free health exams, free parking. We have 400 doctors and nurses and caregivers. We're doing screenings from head to toe. It's a free opportunity. They need to take advantage of it.
For very many years, we've been providing these type of services for the men from our neighborhood, and it keeps them growing. And we're very, very excited. This is one of the highlights of every year here at Cleveland Clinic.
Tell us the importance of this event.
You know, we black and brown men have a proclivity to certain conditions, and we also have a proclivity to ignore them. You know, they fester, they get worse, the outcomes get more problematic. You know, my whole purpose in being here is to draw some attention to this wonderful opportunity for people to get checked out for free.
All right.
So, you know, get checked out. Some of the best doctors on earth are right in this building.
We're giving out cancer information from prostate cancer to colon cancer. We're passing out fit tests as well as getting men signed up for colonoscopies. We're just trying to stop cancer in its tracks. We're trying to get men screened before late-stage diagnosis occurs.
And there you have it, the Cleveland Clinic Minority Men's Health Fair, a rousing success, and TV20 was able to be there. I'm Errol Porter reporting, we are Cleveland.
Now that spring is here, it's time to get out and get active. To celebrate, the Cleveland Metro Parks, along with local and national partners, hosted a trail season opening day event at Merwin's Wharf.
This Cleveland event is one of the featured national events. We've got partners from all over the greater Cleveland area, and it's really about awareness. This is about letting the people of Cleveland and Northeast Ohio know about the wonderful trail opportunities that exist here. Whether you are a hiker, a mountain biker, a cyclist, a multi-use trail user, a kayaker, you've got such amazing outdoor trail assets, and this is really just a celebration of all that.
And I will tell you, the community believes in this. I mean, look at the folks that are out here today. I mean, a wonderful turnout. And this is not just for East Side, West Side. It's for Clevelanders. It's for the region. You know, Cleveland Metro Parks gives back $873 million annually of economic impact. That's by trails, trail connections, you know, real estate values, carbon sequestration, trail monitoring, all the wonderful things that we do. It contributes to this great economy here in Cleveland. You know, the turnout that we're getting down here on these urban trails has just been fantastic. The response we're getting, and really this is you know, over $26 million worth of investment connecting folks to the lakefront, along with over $50 million with the towpath, connecting over 100 miles worth of trails and really connecting communities. And it's about economic development. It's about the economic renaissance at Cleveland. And so I'm happy when the weather's good and people are out celebrating and using our park system.
What better way to keep yourself, you know, mentally and physically healthy than just get out, go for a walk, go for a bike ride, take your family, take your dog, take your neighbor, take your wife, take your kids. I mean, it's just, and it's free. You're getting out on your trails. These trails are accessible and usable to everybody. Something like the Towpath Trail or the Lake Link Trail. So many trails going through your metro parks, through the reservations. They're accessible. It doesn't cost you a dime to step out the front door, get out on these trails. It really is just a wonderful way for you to get out, get some fresh air. It's healthy for you. It's healthy for your community. It's really a treasure that you have this to use.
Ward 3 Councilman Carrie McCormick discussed the connection between the trails and the community.
We know that over the years, things like freeways and other infrastructure pieces have been put in place that have dislocated parts of our neighborhood, and it's so exciting to see that our trails and our systems that will be open to the public are reconnecting folks to our waterfront, to our riverfront, to our public green spaces. So this is about connecting all of our community, but it's also about environmental and economic equity and justice, and really making sure that every single one of our residents has access to these great trails and public green spaces.
Beth Thrall of Brooklyn tells us how she enjoys what Cleveland has to offer.
I'm originally from Pennsylvania, so this is awesome. Cleveland has so much to do for everybody here, and this is just amazing that they can have trails and bike rides and just something for everyone.
To find what trails and activities are available for you to explore, visit clevelandmetroparks.com. Like we were just saying, spring is here and it's time to dust out your bike from the garage. Here's TV20 News Special Correspondent Errol Porter again, but this time showing you what to do with the latest bike trails.
Okay, I'm with Matt Gray from the Mayor's Office of Sustainability right here at Mervyn's Wharf, and we're going over Bikeable Cleveland today. Tell us the city's role in helping this thing get off.
Yeah, so I mean the city has a big role in bike infrastructure, so how do we make biking safer for everyone? Again, like whether you're an 8-year-old or an 80-year-old, we want to make the streets safe. So this analysis we're talking about today is really going to feed into the next stage of bike infrastructure for the city. So we're really excited about that.
When we talk about bike infrastructure, you're talking about building actually also?
Yeah, so infrastructure can be bike lanes, so something you'll just see paint in the street, so a lane dedicated to bikes, but also you can actually have protected, so a physical barrier between the bikes and cars. So we're moving more towards that. And then there's really fancier ones we're doing now, so actually down the middle of the road, we're going to be creating some bike infrastructure as well on Superior. So there's a different varieties. There's also trails that everyone's familiar with. So it's kind of like right place, right type. And a lot of this analysis we're talking about today is what type should go in which place.
Okay, I'm with Eric Oberg. Here he's with Rails to Trails Conservancy. Tell us all about that.
So we're the largest trail organization in the country. We are 32 years old. We've got 160,000 members, and I represent our Midwest regional office based right here in Ohio. So I luckily get to come to Cleveland and do a lot of work here in one of the best cities in the country.
So what is your main objective with the organization?
Well, we build healthier places for healthier people, and so we are a trail organization, but we work to advance bicycle infrastructure. We love to see more people out walking and biking. It brings so many benefits to a community, to a region, and we firmly believe that trails can become America's main street, and where they're done correctly, they really are that. The Bikeable analysis that we released today is really a roadmap, we hope, and the recommendations through that analysis and the ability that this analytical tool gives to our public and private partners in Cleveland. It's a way to ensure that everybody in the city of Cleveland has a chance to get on a bike. Those that do enjoy it, and it's a wonderful addition to their lives. It's a wonderful addition to the economy of the city of Cleveland, but not everybody can do it. Like most cities, there are some equity issues that comes with bicycle facility development, and we hope that this particular tool helps make sure that we're not just putting the right projects in on the streets here, but that that the people who need access to them the most are getting it. And so it's a wholesale attempt to make sure that Cleveland continues the good work they're doing, but they do it in the right way and in the right place.
I'm here with Diltrice Daniels, who is a representative of Bike Cleveland, who is responsible for some of this Bikeable Cleveland action that's going on. Tell us your role.
I'm the outreach and membership manager at Bike Cleveland. So what I do is I educate and try to encourage people to get on bikes.
What are some of the pros of bike riding instead of getting into your cars?
It's a lot. Besides free, it is free. It is fun. It is sustainable. You don't have to buy gas. You don't have to worry about maintenance on a vehicle.
Well, thank you for joining us here at Mervyn's Wharf discussing Bikeable Cleveland. Of course, opening day for our trails are right around the corner. Summer's on the way. Get more important information at railstotrails.org. Thank you for joining us. I'm Errol Porter, City of Cleveland, TV20. We are Cleveland.
Raw eggs were flying all over Cleveland City Hall, but it was all in fun and for charity. TV20 reporter Dan Monroe has more.
The Mayor's Office of Capital Projects held their annual egg drop competition as a way to raise money for Harvest for Hunger. Coordinator Erica Reynolds explains.
Today was about Harvest for Hunger. We have a competition. It's the City Hall Egg Drop. This is our 3rd year. So contestants can construct a device where once you put an egg inside of it and drop it off the 2nd floor, if it does not break, you win.
Reynolds says that though the event was fun, it's the money that was raised for Harvest for Hunger that really matters.
A lot of people give for Harvest for Hunger or for the Mayor's Food Basket. We wanted to do something fun and let you participate with some activities that you can enjoy while donating at the same time. And the donations are important because every dollar provides 4 meals. So we try to get as many participants as we can so that we can make a significant contribution to the Harvest for Hunger food drive.
Employees from various departments throughout City Hall teamed up to create the perfect vessel to protect their egg as it dropped to the ground from the second floor. Marie Bramley, Angela Sanchez, and Eva Vargas from the Department of Engineering and Construction make up Team Egghead, and they told me they believe they can win with their odd but creative design.
Eva found this great head and brought it in, and we all got excited about using it. So that's the extent of it. We then tried to figure out a way to use this as our container. We cut it open, we scooped it out, we put the egg in, we thought, we have a winner. And then Marie helped decorate it this morning.
The competition was fierce. After the first 2 rounds, 2 of the 4 teams have been eliminated. Now it was down to the engineers of Team Egghead and the city architects. And the stakes and the distance were higher. After dropping their eggs from the top of the Willard Park garage stairwell some 5 stories high, Team Egghead won bragging rights and the $60 cash prize. But it's what they did afterwards that was so amazing.
With their winnings, it was a small winning, well, $60, which is small to some people, but for Harbors for Hunger, that $60 actually provides 240 meals. And our winners donated their winnings back to Harbors for Hunger. So that was pretty generous and very, a heartfelt, generous donation that they did.
Win or lose, no one walked away from this competition with egg on their face. At the City Hall Rotunda for TV20, I'm Dan Monroe.
The 1st District Community Relations and the Bel Air Puritas CDC hosted their annual egg hunt at Fogarty Hall. Families got to enjoy food, photos with the Easter Bunny, and get information on local organizations.
It's a safe event. They can come, and each kid, each child that leaves here leaves with a present. So for me, it's another one of these informal events where we can get together informally with my officers, my supervisors, and just talk to people in the neighborhoods.
I think it's also, I agree with him, as he said, we need a safe place, first of all, for people to go, especially the kids. But we also need things for them to do, and it's important to have resources for them to do them at. And there's a wide variety of resources that the community does not know about or are not aware. And along with the police and trying to build a better relationship, that's another way of building away the stigmas that people have. Because a lot of times fear is built in the head, but once they get with people, the heart changes. And it's important to reflect that. So my organization, things that we offer is training. And it's open to anyone, record, non-record, county, non-county, to have the opportunity to make themselves grow, build relationships outside of what their norm is. And that's also important to expose people to what they're not used to so they can broaden their horizons while building better relationships. And if you teach somebody the right way about relationships with the police, with the community centers, then they will pass that along. And that's paying it forward in itself.
One thing, we realize that when we do things that are fun and when people enjoy themselves, people get together. And since this is a fun event, it's like I said, multi-generational, and we can get a lot of different people together. This is how we can get all different generations together as one.
Commander Fay feels having community events like this is an opportunity for the police to engage with the residents.
For me, one of my missions is to break down some of those barriers that we have between community and police, and for my officers to just sit down with a child and talk to them, person to person, about what we do, the good things that we do. For me, it's another attempt to break down those barriers that sometimes are maybe not real. And for the kids just to talk to an officer, say, hey, what is your job? What do you do? And then have that child, talk about themselves. For me, it's an awesome opportunity for dialogue.
To find out about future events in the 1st District, visit the 1st District Police Facebook and Twitter. If you're hearing or sight impaired, dial 211 for information. That's all for your TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. Up next, we'll have Christian Patterson with the Inside Sports Report.